Namaste, witchlings. I'm here today. Oh, I forgot to shut the door. Patient. Ah, I have something I can use to. Ha, there we go. Hello. Um, just a heads up. Yes, I had my surgery. I am developing hives, so I am currently waiting for a phone call from my surgical team. And if it comes while I'm doing this, well, I'm going to mute you guys and take the call. Just giving you a heads up. I am so happy to be back online. I have been bored out of my skull this week. The surgery went well. I am recovering quite well. Um, Pretty much no pain, but I'm itching like a motherfucker. Thank you, Jared. I'm just itchy, which you can see I'm all red. I have a feeling I'm allergic to the adhesive, 'cause I do have sensitivities to those, but you know what? We'll deal. I just popped some Benadryl for it. We'll see how it goes. So, Rosebud, let's get this show on the road. All right. Let's see. Where's my button? There's my button. Now I can see myself a little bit. We are talking raising magical kids this week. This was going to be last week's, but well, my health yet again decided it was more important. The blog for this is already up on the website. Go ahead and go check that out when we're done. Um, Magical kids, something I actually have experience with. For those of you who don't know me well, I am a mom. I have 3 kids. They are 20, 22, and 25. And I have been walking my pagan path since I myself was 18 ish, right around the time I turned 18, and I am 46 now. So my children were all raised at least somewhat on the pagan path. Um, Living with my incubator for a few years made that slightly difficult because, well, her father was an Episcopal priest. He was not a problem. He actually gave his full blessing for me to follow the pagan path. She did not. She resented it. She actually straight up asked me one night if I chose my religion just to piss her off. I did manage to bite my tongue and not ask her if she honestly thought my life revolved around her that much, but I digress. So, if you are a parent, guardian, aunt, uncle, or just, someone who likes kids and are walking a pagan path, grab yourself a cup of coffee, tea, your favorite beverage, and get comfy. We're going to chat. Raising magical children is not. Yeah, it really is. Raising magical children is not all about, potions and spells and all of that stuff that everybody thinks of when they think witches. It is more about fostering a deep connection to nature, encouraging their intuition, and embracing the cycles of life. I must have done something right there because one of my kids, I joked from the time they were a young child that they were going to be my environmental activist and, do all of this stuff. They have recently started working for, I want to say it's Republic Services, which many of us know as our trash company. What a lot of people do not realize is Republic also does environmental cleanup. So my munchkin has started working on an environmental cleanup team. They have gone and done cleaning up drug paraphernalia. They have done a couple of oil spills. They have cleaned out diesel engine tanks, things like that, and they are loving it. So apparently, I did a good job of fostering, a connection to nature in that one. That is my middle child. My youngest, oh, he is all about the witchy stuff in his own way. And then my oldest just has his own path. Oh, so think of yourself as a gardener of the soul. Your kidlets are like your seedlings. They're full of potential and very eager to grow into this. So, how do we create fertile ground for their magical spirits to blossom? Well, starting using nature as your classroom. The house we lived in when my kids were really little, I loved this house. It had a ginormous backyard, but the best part of the backyard was we had a creek that ran through our backyard and emptied out into the bay. And my kids loved going down and exploring the creek. It was a salmon stream. So during spawning season, there were tons of fish in it. And we regularly did, little learning things like, okay, they're going to go lay their eggs, have babies, etc. And this is what happens. And when they died off in the creek, obviously we watched the whole cycle there. Seasonal celebrations. Most of us do that anyway, Christian or not. But for us pagans, it's more than just, having an Easter egg hunt or throwing a Christmas party. We want to truly celebrate the wheel of the year, making each Sabbat, which is the holidays. We have eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have eight Sabbats in the wheel of the year. And there are different ways to celebrate each of them that are very much kid friendly. Easter egg hunts for Ostara. I mean, eggs at Easter come from the pagans. They truly do. As do the Easter rabbit. As does the Easter rabbit. I can talk. Really, I can. Beltane. Beltane fire. Hang out in the backyard with the fire in the fire pit. Tell stories around the fire. There, you have just celebrated Beltane. Samhain. Come on, everybody knows how we celebrate Samhain. We dress up in costumes and go trick-or-treating. And then Yule. Okay? That's some basic ways to celebrate the Sabbats. Do some crafts, tell stories, and maybe simple rituals. For Imbolc, a very popular craft is to make Bridget's crosses, which they're made from reeds or paper. And unfortunately, I don't have that picture on here, but that's a very simple craft that you can do. It was one I was planning on doing with all of you this year. Had life not gotten very much in the way at that point. Another way is to create a sacred space. Have a family altar. Prior to living here, I pretty much had what would have been a family altar. It was out in the main living space of the house. Make sure you don't have breakable things on said family altar if you have young children or furry children. Where is he? There he is. Such as him. Yeah. Dog tails are very good at clearing off tables. So, but dedicate a small corner of your home to your family altar. Let your kids participate in decorating it. Some things that they'll probably want to put on the altar are leaves, sticks, pretty rocks, seashells. Different things that they pick up and find that, excuse me, that are aligned with the elements. And then storytelling. Share myths and legends from your tradition and, make them engaging. Make sure that you're interactive with them and relevant to what's going on in your kids' lives. So, a good one would be my goddess of the day that I do with my daily draws, or telling your kids stories if you are Norse, telling them stories about Freya and her cat drawn chariot, and that she is a warrior priestess or goddess. Sorry. What's up, buddy boy? You want out? Give me just a sec. All right, come here, buddy. I'll open the door. There you go. Romp, frolic, be a puppy. Um, next, we want to be sure that we are embracing our kids' intuition and their individuality, especially if you have twins. Individuality with twins is huge. So each child is a unique, very unique spark of divinity with their own magical gifts waiting to be discovered. Such as, okay, we'll take my kids yet again. I have one who is incredibly empathic. Love that. Um, my middle child, very much into nature. And then I have my youngest who is kick ass at spells. Have no idea how he does it because he never writes them out. He just does it completely by intuition. Listen to their whispers, pay attention to their interests. Do you have a child who absolutely loves animals? Maybe your kid is, big on crystals. And of course, I have moved what I was going to use as a, there it is. Maybe you have a kiddo who is big into crystals, which my oldest. So, I keep something like this around, and I've always got a selection of pretty rocks that he can carry with him whenever he needs one. Do you have a child who absolutely loves fairies? Fairies are great when you're working with kids because, hello, thank you Disney for Tinkerbell, but that is often a young child's first fairy. Nurture their passions though. If you have a child who likes to write, okay, maybe you can encourage them to write out some spells or some poetry. Also, encourage their exploration, which means, give them their own divination tools. Back to my kids. My oldest had his own deck of tarot cards from a very young age. It was originally purchased for me, but that deck and I did not get along. I could not even really handle it for any length of time without wanting to throw it. But he loved it, and it actually responded quite well to him. So I gave it to him. And I have no idea where it is today, but it was definitely his first tarot deck. Um, Depending on the age of your child, maybe a pendulum, runes. Runes are awesome because oh, my nose is itchy. Kids love playing with, rocks and cards. So tarot cards and runes are amazing for young kids. Um, Respect their beliefs. This is an important one. When you have young kids, do not try to pigeonhole them into what you think they should believe. Uh-oh. Give me 1 second. That may be the call I'm waiting for. Okay, that was the nurse. And so far, I'm doing exactly what I need to do. We're pretty sure now that yes, I'm allergic to the adhesive. Yay! So we're gonna have fun with this. Um, so back to where we were. We are respecting our kids' beliefs. This is huge for me because okay, going back to my mother, she did not respect mine at all. Did not respect the fact that I was trying to raise my children with my beliefs, not hers. So even young children, as young as 2 or 3, they are they are old enough to verbalize what they're thinking, and they definitely have opinions. I mean, come on, have you met a toddler recently or a preschooler? Um, they have their own way of viewing the world. And when they talk to you, don't blow them off and say, oh, no, that's not how it is. This is how it really is. Or you're living in a fantasy world or whatever. To them, it is real. Case in point, for those of us who actually watch the news a couple of months back, God, I can't remember how long ago it's been now, Larry David, backing up a little more, Elmo posted to Twitter asking how everyone was doing. And it ended up blowing up into this huge thing. Yes, respecting their feelings. We will get to that one with this story as well. So Elmo was on Good Morning America with Larry David coming on after him. And Larry David just claims that he just got fed up with Elmo talking about feelings, blah, 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 and he wanted him to shut up. So he comes storming out of the set and throttles Elmo. And the fight began, oh, it's just a stupid puppet or blah, blah, he was joking. A, not a joke. That traumatized a lot of kids. And B, I don't care if he was sick of talking about feelings. This is something we need to talk about on a more public global scale. Because, and going with respecting your children's feelings, Elmo is not just a puppet. To those kids who watch Sesame Street, Elmo is their friend, just like a friend they would see at school or at church or wherever. And watching this adult who, their parents find hilariously funny and absolutely love come out and do that was traumatizing. And when a child comes to you and says, my feelings are hurt, or what you did, I did not like, do not trample all over that child. Respect that child. Because too often we forget that kids are humans. They are people. They're not just little mini robots. They are little people. They have thoughts, they have emotions, they have feelings, they have opinions that deserve to be respected and heard just the same as you would with your coworker or your partner in crime or whatever. Respect your children. Excuse me. And then we have meditation and mindfulness. Teach simple meditation techniques for calming your mind and connecting to that inner voice. Yoga. I was teaching my kids yoga from the time I started doing yoga regularly. Meditation, guided meditation has always been a thing in my house. Excuse me. There is one particular guided meditation that even today, my 25-year-old will say, Mom, can you take me to the keep? And he will lay down and I will guide him through that particular meditation. And he's usually out cold, sound asleep before I'm even halfway done. So these are important things. Teach your children how to self-soothe, especially if you have neurodivergent children like mine. Meditation and mindfulness have been huge benefits for my kids because it slows down the hamster wheel in their head. And then how do we raise responsible magic makers? Well, with great magic comes great responsibility. Thank you, Stanley. Teach them ethical practices. Discuss the importance of respecting nature, animals, and all living beings. Teach them to be ethical in how they gather their supplies. I was discussing somewhere else that I was just listening to today graveyard dirt. Graveyard dirt is a common ingredient in spells. How do you get graveyard dirt? Generally, you have to go to the cemetery and collect it. Do not collect your cemetery dirt off of just any random grave. Use a family grave of your own if possible. If not, there are ethical ways to go about doing this. When it comes to your herbs, again, source them ethically. One second. The dogs are going nuts. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. The dogs were going batshit because Dad just got home and we had a package delivered. Okay. When it comes to sourcing your herbs that you use, again, be ethical about it. Be mindful of closed practices as well. White sage. Lead by example. Your children watch everything you do and they hear every word you say. So show your children how you incorporate your magic into your daily life in a mindful and ethical way. Such as, I infuse my yoga with witchcraft. I show my children that I do that by doing it, mindfully, ethically, carefully. And it takes a lot of work to do that one too. And then also community and connections. Seek out other pagan families for support, friendship, and, to share experiences. Doesn't mean you have to form a coven with them, but having friends who understand is so nice. For me, I had one friend as my kids were growing up who was also a pagan parent. And we would talk back and forth constantly about how we were doing things with our kids. Well, my son wants to be in the room when I'm playing with my tarot cards and when I'm doing readings and that. So should I hand him his cards and we both do it at the same time? Or she would say, well, my daughter has become fascinated with interpreting dreams, and you just had an interesting dream lately. Why don't you call later and I'll have her dig out her books and we can walk through this dream that you had. So, friendship and shared experiences. We all need community. Also, and I mentioned this on the blog, there are so many places where you can find community, both online and off. I just totally remembered that I did not put a resource into that blog that I should have. Reddit has some awesome subs for pagan parenting, but if you are a family who likes scouting, like the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, etc., there is a scouting program for pagan kids. It is called the Spiral Scouts. And as opposed to the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, which this has changed recently as well, the Spiral Scouts is not gender specific. It is co-ed, and it does a lot of the same things as the Boy and Girl Scouts, except generally not sponsored by a church. So it's really cool and really fun. to do these things. And you know, if you're lucky enough like me to have a ritual circle on your property, include your kids in it. When you go out to do a ritual, you know, invite the kids to come with you and to participate in age appropriate ways. I mean, I'm not going to hand a 3-year-old the athame and tell them, you know, call the quarters. That waits until they're at least 13. Each of my kids, again, in the circle, each of my kids has their place that they choose to stand in the circle. They have their cardinal direction. Each of my kids has their element that they prefer to work with. Oh, my nose is driving me nuts. But, you know, let your kids develop themselves on their own. Don't try to pigeonhole them, don't try to force them. So, and also books. There is a really good list of books on the blog today or from last week um, that are aimed at pagan parents. One of them I owned at one time and I now so very much regret handing off. It is called Circle Round. It has got some amazing kid friendly rituals. It's got music, little songs in it to help teach about the elements, all of it. Fabulous book. I highly recommend any pagan parent grabbing it. Um, Raising pagan children is very much a sacred journey. It is filled with wonder, laughter, and growth. It's a chance, just a chance, to create a new generation of empowered, compassionate, and earth loving souls, which we need so badly in today's day and age. So, that is our podcast for today. I have a butt next to me. What are you doing, tookers? If you have pets, you know, you can include your pets in your rituals as well. I joke so much, but it's not exactly a joke, that my pendulums will not work until the cat has given them permission. Hi, sweetheart. It's hilarious. What? You want mom, huh? Oh, okay. Come here. Hi. Yes, you're good. No, you can't lick mama. So, and see, he even took here. He has to be in the middle of it. Yes, don't you? Okay, down you go. Okay, so that is all I have to say today. And thankfully, because I'm starting to run out of spoons, so I will go take a rest because apparently I'm being told I need to go take a rest. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I will be doing guided meditation tomorrow. And I will see you all then. Namaste, my witchlings.